I'm Mark Thompson. I'm the Executive Vice President and Provost at Quinnipiac University, and it's my pleasure to welcome you as the newest members of our community. Welcome to each and every one of you. I'd like to start by thanking some very important people who have put a lot of work and effort into making sure that your first experience here at Quinnipiac was very positive. And it's these young people in these green shirts, your orientation leaders. Would you stand, please? They're extraordinary people, and I'm very thankful for everything they've done to make sure that you're off to a great start. Now I would ask our faculty and staff, there's about 400 or 500 of them in here, to stand up. Faculty and staff are sprinkled among you, and welcome you as the class of 2017. We have a great program for you this morning, but I'd like to start this morning. It's my pleasure to introduce the President of Quinnipiac University, Dr. John Leahy, to greet all of you.
You're probably all confused, the freshmen at least, as to whether we brought you here for a hockey game or a basketball game. But hopefully you'll be back here in this facility for one or the other many times in the years ahead. But on behalf of the entire university, I want to welcome and congratulate the class of 2017. You're, without question, one of the largest and without question, the best group of young people that we've ever admitted to Quinnipiac University. The 1,800 seats in our freshman class that you represent here today, we selected you from over 22,000 applications. So while I don't know very many of you personally, I do know that you are an extremely accomplished and bright and able group of young people, and were admitted in the most competitive admissions year in the history of this university. So I add my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. You know, during the next 4 years, you will hear very often talk about the three core values that guide this university, and they really affect everything we do, our decisions, our allocation of resources, how we relate to one another. And those three core values are a commitment to high-quality academic programs, a student-oriented environment, and a sense of community here at Quinnipiac. And each of those values, you will find during your years at Quinnipiac, will have enormous benefits for each and every one of you. But with each of those values also comes a responsibility that you have. Our first value of a commitment to high-quality academic programs, I can assure you that no matter what school or program or major or minor or course that you take here at Quinnipiac, you will find that we have the best facilities, the latest and best equipment, and most importantly, we have the very best faculty teaching you anywhere in the country. But the responsibility you have is to make sure you take your studies seriously and do so from the very first day, your very first class on Monday. I can't tell you how it saddens me every year to see a group of young people like yourselves come in here, and not very many, but some, who give in to the distractions that exist on any college or university campus, and particularly in the early days and the early weeks of your first semester as freshmen. It's very easy to dig a hole for yourself that, unfortunately, you'll have to dig out for many semesters and sometimes many years. So I would strongly encourage all of you, take your responsibility as students very seriously from the very first day, this very first semester. Our commitment to a student-oriented environment means we not only have outstanding faculty in the classroom, we also have faculty and staff outside the classroom who can provide you with all of the support and extra help that you may need. And that may be tutoring services from our Learning Center, or help in the library, or career services area, or you may have health problems in our health facilities and or our counseling areas. All of those areas are well staffed by outstanding professionals who are there to help you. And every college student has some bumps and challenges along the way. So I really want to encourage you, when you need help, don't be ashamed or embarrassed to go and seek that help. Those offices are there, but unless you avail yourselves of those services and support, we'll not be able to help you. And then finally, our sense of community here on campus. This is not only a large class, a very bright class, but a very diverse class. And we not only value diversity here at Quinnipiac, we celebrate diversity. And I can assure you, no matter what makes you a unique individual, whether it's race or ethnicity or religion or gender or sexual orientation, whatever it is that makes you unique, this entire community at Quinnipiac will respect that individuality and uniqueness, and you can be assured that you can express yourself and your individuality and your uniqueness here on this campus, and you'll get the full support of this community. Again, with that value goes a responsibility. It's incumbent and responsible that all of you treat every other one of your classmates and faculty and staff and members of this community and treat their individuality and differences with the utmost respect. We don't tolerate hate speech, let alone hate actions or hate crimes on this campus. Respect each and every one of the other members of this community, and I can assure you, you will realize and benefit from this wonderful community you have that makes up Quinnipiac University. So again, I want to congratulate all of you. My best wishes. I look forward to getting to know all of you in the weeks and months and years ahead. My very best wishes for each and every one of you. Congratulations.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Carla Knowlton, Director of Admissions, who will present the class of 2017.
Wow, it's great to see all of you here today. And good morning. On behalf of the admissions office, I'm thrilled to welcome the class of 2017 to Quinnipiac University. Welcome. All of us in the admissions office have enjoyed the opportunity to talk with you at open houses, during interviews, at your high schools, college fairs, and during the orientation weekends. Today is a milestone in your lives. You're gathered here in the TD Bank Sports Center, and will gather here again in 1,360 days at your graduation. And that time will go quickly. You can sure bet on that. I encourage you to realize the investment that the university, you, and your families have made in your future, and to take advantage of the range of opportunities that are available for you here at Quinnipiac. You can relax until Monday and get to know your classmates and prepare for an exciting beginning to your Quinnipiac years. This year in admissions, as you've heard, we received over 20,000 applications from high school seniors. And we congratulate you both on being selected as part of this class and in your choice to enroll at Quinnipiac. Let me tell you a little bit more about yourselves. First, your class size is just a little bit more than 1,800 students. And you are the largest class in the history of Quinnipiac University. 76% of you come from states outside of Connecticut, from 27 states and 30 countries. 18% have self-identified as students of color. You've come from over 800 high schools from Connecticut to California and from Maine to Florida. On average, you ranked in the top 25% of your high school class and earned an 1100 on the critical reading plus math SAT. As I mentioned before, you have lots of time to get to know each other, but just so you know, there are 680 men, 37%, and 1,150 women and 1,150 women, 63% in the class. But actually, I'll make it a little easy for you. Will you please raise your hand if your name is Jessica, Sarah, Nicole, Emily, Lauren, Danielle, Rachel, Samantha, Victoria, Amanda, Olivia, Stephanie, or Taylor? Thank you. And now, will you please raise your hand if your name is Matthew? Christopher, Michael, Andrew, or Thomas? You've just met 20% of the women and 20% of the men in the class. As for majors, 10% of you have entered the School of Communications. 26% have entered the School of Business and Engineering. 28% have entered the College of Arts and Sciences. And 31% have entered the School of Health Sciences. And 6% are in the School of Nursing. Although each of you is enrolled in a particular school or college, about 20% of you have not yet chosen a particular major. But you'll have plenty of time to do so as you explore the university curriculum and learn about the opportunities available in each school. About 1/3 of you will be staying on at Quinnipiac to earn your graduate degree, either in programs such as physical therapy, physician assistant, occupational therapy, the 4 or 5-year BS MBA program, or the 5-year MAT program in education. Now, when I call your state, I'd like you to stand and remain standing until all states have been called. First, we'd like to welcome our international students to Quinnipiac. And we'd like to welcome our American students from overseas, along with students from Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. Welcome. Please stand and remain standing. We welcome students from Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Please stand. We welcome students from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island. We welcome students from Massachusetts. Who I might add make up 18% of our incoming class. New Jersey. (20%). New York, 22%. And Connecticut, 24%. President Leahy and members of the faculty, please join me in welcoming the class of 2017 to Quinnipiac University. May we all benefit from our time together. Thank you, and please be seated.
Well, at this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Matt Deslitz, President of the Student Government Association.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to get one. Here we go. All right. Thank you, Dr. Thompson, and hello, class of 2017. As Dr. Thompson just said, my name is Matt Deslitz, and I'm a senior business management major from Upton, Massachusetts. Today, I have the privilege of welcoming you to the university I love because I was fortunate enough to be elected your student body president for this upcoming year. It is an extraordinary honor to be welcoming the class of 2017 today, a class that is even home to my own brother, Chris. My goal in welcoming you all today is for you to understand the secret to success to life here at Quinnipiac. Now, for me to address the secret to success, you must know that success is defined differently for every person at this university. Success at Quinnipiac doesn't necessarily just refer to obtaining that degree that you'll work towards for the next 4 or more years. In fact, since success in college is different than any other success you've ever experienced. Until now, success for you all has been measured in stepping stones. Think about what success meant in high school. You had 4 years to prepare yourselves to sit in these very seats. 4 years to learn the skills to succeed in college. Well, now success is measured on a much larger scale. These next 4 years will determine the next 60 years of your life. This statistic can be daunting, but don't be afraid. Success can be finding a few lifelong best friends that will be in your wedding party. Success can be being hired for a job even before you graduate. Success can be simply finding something within the classroom or within a campus organization that you're truly passionate about. Now I want you to know how to reach this success. I hope some of you have seen the Jim Carrey movie Yes Man, which is based off the 1991 book by Danny Wallace. If you haven't read the book or seen the movie, I'll catch you up to speed with those who have. In the movie, Jim Carrey's character Carl is down on his luck and extremely unhappy with his life. He has absolutely nothing going for him, from his dead-end job to his non-existent love life. Carl was persuaded into trying a personal development plan where he decides to say yes to every single offer in his life. Carl says yes to every opportunity from then on, from a hobo asking for all the money in his wallet, to hosting a bridal shower for his best friend's new wife, to a bulletin board advertisement for Korean classes. Once Carl started to say yes, he began to truly love life again. Well, the secret to success here at Quinnipiac University is deciding to become a yes man. Quinnipiac University offers its students countless opportunities to grow, learn, and most importantly, find happiness. Decide early on to say yes to these opportunities as they come. Say yes to the poster on the wall promoting information sessions for student government elections. Say yes to your roommate who wants someone to go with them to a student programming board event. Say yes to the Office of Multicultural and Global Education and go explore our world. Say yes to your professor who advises your class to go to the Learning Commons for tutoring before your next test. Say yes to your neighbor who is looking for people to join their intramural team just to have fun. And say yes to the open door in your hallway. You never know. You could just wander into the room of your future spouse. It feels like just yesterday. You never know. Wander into that room, you all. It feels like just yesterday that I was sitting where you are right now. I only remember one thing that the student body president at the time, Lou Venturelli, said. He said, "Right now, you're sitting with the next student body president." I only remember this because I recall the vivid thought process that his comment sparked. I thought to myself, that's pretty neat. I wonder how one just becomes student body president. This Lou guy really seems like he has his act together. Well, I'll never know. I quickly dismissed that thought process and started thinking about how hot, sweaty, and uncomfortable I was as this ceremony used to be under the hot August sun on the quad. After that ceremony, I unknowingly began the path that I thought was unthinkable, all because I said yes to my orientation leader. My OL provided me with an opportunity to go to a student government information session, and after that moment, I began my road to this very stage. Just like Jim Carrey's character Carl, once I began to say yes to the opportunities that presented themselves, I began to love every precious second of my life here in Hampton, Connecticut. We good? Good. It has been my honor to be one of the first to officially welcome you to Quinnipiac University. You have all joined this community by signing your names to the Book of the Legend, which contains our university's creed. The creed is our oath of dedication to our schools, our peers, and each other, both during and after collegiate life. You've all seen and heard my fellow orientation leaders reading it at your orientation sessions, and it is my pleasure to introduce, for the final time, your 2013 orientation interns reading our university's creed.
Hi, I'm Cara Gilmartin, and I'm a senior media studies major from Old Bridge, New Jersey.
Hi guys, my name is Pete Nikitas, and I'm a senior public relations major from Exeter, Rhode Island.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Harper. I'm a senior physical therapy and athletic training major from Vernon, New Jersey.
Hi everyone, my name is Luigi Tancredi. I'm a senior marketing major from Wallingford, Connecticut. Okay, so we're just going to give you a quick refresher on some of the things you learned at orientation. We're going to read you the student body creed and the legend of the Bobcat. Student body creed is as follows. I choose to be a member of the Quinnipiac University community. I strive for integrity, responsibility, and academic excellence.
I respect and value all members of this diverse community. I embrace the inclusion of all people.
I preserve Quinnipiac's traditions of pride and spirit. Together, we are the architects of our future. We are the legend.
And the legend of the Bobcat is as follows. The Indian spirit Habamak was doomed to eternal sleep when a spell was cast over him. But his ferocious companion, a stealthy giant bobcat with vibrant blue and fiery gold eyes, was spared such a fate. Habamak now sleeps soundly belly up, forming the peaks of Sleeping Giant Mountain. Today, the confident and devoted bobcat loyally defends its now sleeping giant and all that falls in its shadows. From time to time, the bobcat can be spotted around campus watching over our school. Legend says that the bobcat will allow no harm to come to those swift and brave enough to rub its paw.
All right. I want to leave you with one piece of wisdom which I pass on from a true best friend that I found here at Quinnipiac University. The type of friend I mentioned before, someone who I know will be in my wedding party one day. In most any situation, he lends me a constant bit of wisdom. I find his advice applicable to so many situations, and it is especially applicable to you all today as you begin to build your life here at Quinnipiac. Although he enjoys giving me his favorite advice at inopportune times, it is still important and insightful. Whether we're stopped at a stop sign and I don't know where to go and ask for his directions, his only advice to me is, just follow your heart. Or if we're in the caf and I ask, hey, what do you think looks good today? I get back, Just follow your heart. Or when I talked to him about the girl I love and whether or not I should tell her how I feel, Evan told me, Matt, follow your heart. Though I find his advice only fitting every now and then, I always keep it with me. With that, Quinnipiac University class of 2017, if you follow your heart and say yes, I promise you will succeed.